The woman had just made $30 billion for the company, but the very next day she was fired by the boss without hesitation. The woman felt deeply confused because she hadn't made any mistakes at all until she saw the boss's younger brother take over her position. At that moment, the woman understood the boss had discarded her after using up her value. The woman angrily demanded her share of the project profits. According to the rules on a $30 billion project, she should have received at least $100 million. Yet the boss only gave her $200. The woman was driven completely insane with anger. The woman thought about how she had repeatedly stepped in to save the company when it was on the brink of bankruptcy, bringing it back from the dead. Not long ago, she had even secured a $30 billion contract with the Bryan Group. Yet now, she couldn't even get the profits she rightfully deserved. She then thought about her child lying in a hospital bed, desperately needing this money for surgery to survive. So the woman shouted that she must get her share of the profits. However, the boss responded with a contemptuous smile. He mocked the woman for being greedy and selfish, saying that was why her child had suffered retribution and fallen seriously ill, claiming that everything was the woman's fault. The woman couldn't help but want to kill the boss, but she couldn't act on impulse. Her child was still waiting for her to save their life. So the woman swallowed her anger and gave up the profit share, asking only for her salary and year-end bonus, which added up to about $1 million. But the boss sneered and said the woman's position had already been demoted to assistant, and she would only be paid an assistant's salary. The boss's brother arrogantly said that she would be given only $2,000. Hearing this, the woman could no longer endure it. She refused the $2,000 and turned to leave, but was stopped by her co-workers. Everyone knew her child urgently needed money, so they voluntarily began crowdfunding the surgery expenses. The woman was deeply moved. Unexpectedly, the boss's brother was even more shameless. He said the woman was no longer an employee of the company, so all the donated money would belong to the company in reality. He was pocketing it himself. If anyone had a problem with it, he would fire them. Everyone was furious but dared not speak up. Then the boss's brother arrogantly declared that the Bryan Group signed the contract because their company was powerful, not because of the woman's abilities. Little did he know, the other side valued only the woman's competence. At this moment, the boss also smugly issued a threat, claiming that once the woman left, she would be blacklisted across the entire industry. Just then, a group of people suddenly burst in. The woman leading them was the CEO of the Bryan Group. The CEO firmly defended the woman's interests and announced that the Bryan Group would only sign contracts with the woman. But the boss and his brother refused to give up. They even lied, claiming the woman had taken credit for the brother's work, saying all the projects had been handled by the brother. However, the CEO calmly and leisurely looked at the brother and asked him to explain the project details. The brother stammered and couldn't say a word because he didn't understand the project at all. Seeing that the CEO was about to leave and the $30 billion was about to vanish, the boss